Okay. Before I do what I'm thinking in my head, are sending stones particularly fragile, or are they just rocks?
They are just rocks. They're just rocks.
Perfect. Malachi
Oh boy.
slams it on the ground as hard as he can. And just kind of leans up against one of these bookshelves and is like, kind of just like fidgeting with his hair.
Sort of gently shaking on the ground is the sending stone, and you hear the voice of your sister. Be ready for a fight. And that is all.
I just fucking did a fight.
We just hear
It felt like it
Malachi
was
say
fun.
that.
God, fuck!
I just did a big ass fight, man.
I can't believe it. I hate it here.
Well,
I don't even have
Time to fucking loot or anything. God damn it!
I hate to be
I'm
the
like
bearer
in
of
the
bad news, but I think you got a bit more fighting to do.
About 3 days to get there.
I'm like in the middle of like still doing the ritual casting, going, "What the fuck was that?" As I turn around and just hear a stone slammed.
Just finish your thing. Finish your thing. Ah, God.
Well, we have to finish the thing, otherwise the fucking lich will come back.
Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Hey, we gotta go help the ravens. They're in trouble. Like, pretty immediately.
Immediately. Like
I
now?
mean, finish. Finish your ritual, finish the phylactery, but like, they're in tough shape.
Malachi, just so you know, this needs to sit for, what was it, 24 hours, Aeolus?
Yes.
24 hours is okay. They have about 3 days.
It'll take us less than that to make the amount needed, but I don't feel safe leaving it here without.
No. So it's okay.
That's fine.
I had a big
Question for the
reaction.
class. That's what what's her name?
Not Sky
Elvina.
Rizzy.
I know, I'm so
Sorry.
sorry.
Goddamn.
Goddamn.
I'm thinking Sky Rizzy.
What if we just take the thing with us?
I'm not taking that chance.
I already got a haunted doll. What's the worst that can happen?
Elvina, I hate to always bring this, and I'm like in the middle of like moving my hands and going, you were still killed by a fucking broom. It can always get worse.
It was in the past.
Doesn't all the Amber keep Strahd from just coming in here whenever she wants?
I guess.
No.
And if we left, then she could just get over here.
I mean, if
Did you guys ever meet Oleg by chance?
yeah,
Actually, yeah, we love that guy.
Oh. Never mind.
What's an Oleg?
what is an Oleg is the great question.
Oh, he's just the biggest dumbass on the Ravens, and he's a great friend, and now he's fucking dead.
Oh,
Malachi.
like
You would have distinctly remembered Oleg being like around 7 years older than you, but you always sort of got snubbed with the same tasks
Yeah.
of like carrying things together and
kind of a situation where Malachi tried to be too cool for Oleg, but he kept on just like trying to be friends with him, and eventually he was just like, okay, this guy's kept on like making him pies and shit, and he's like, all right, I guess we're friends.
Malachi, one of the memories that you have of Oleg distinctly was when you were young, leaving the Order of Ravens was considered very dangerous and kind of a faux pas, and you snuck out one night to go be a part of some tomfoolery.
does my baby get inspo dice for my shitty notes?
Yes, he does get inspo dice. And upon returning back home, Oleg kind of took the fall and was willing to be chastised on your behalf for sort of goading you into leaving and claiming that you were a scaredy bird if you didn't go to this little shindig.
Shouldn't have fucking left. Should be there already. God, feels so fucking stupid now. Yeah, Malachi actually, I mean, the Roll20 map is actually pretty accurate, which is that Malachi steps out of the room and is just kind of brooding on the stairway.
Even when Takara kind of became less frequent in her communication with you, Oleg would sometimes take her sending stone just to talk to you or try to talk to you, even if you would ignore him and you weren't available.
I think while still doing this, I'll look over to Elvina and try to get her attention and kind of nod towards where he went and being like, go fucking talk to him or something. Are you muted or you're quiet?
Yeah, sorry. She looks at him and just sort of sighs and is like, well, that's not my fucking kid, but I suppose.
He came to help us. I would do it, but I'm a little busy right now.
No, it's okay. Please fight over who has to come here and talk to me. Don't all of you come comfort me at once.
But she'll get up and head out.
Is this something that Malachi genuinely says?
What?
Is this something that Malachi really says? Do you hear this conversation? Is this something you really say?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I'm outside.
He's silently brooding to himself.
I wouldn't have said that.
Regardless, you hear in your ear, Malachi.
But it might be something Malachi thinks.
You hear in your ear. It's so lonely at the bottom of these stairs, isn't it, just? Boo-hoo.
Fucking head.
If I know anything about sisters, I know that they're not worth the time of day. You were probably right to stay away. Elisanya, her voice reverberates in your ears. Alvina comes down the steps.
Sorry, let me... she will get out and down the steps sort of by Malachi and be like, hey, are you alright? I mean, dumb question, you're probably not really alright, but I'm really sorry.
The one guy on the Were-Ravens who, liked me regardless of whatever I said or did and all the edgy shit that I do is dead now. And now they need me to help them, and of course I'm gonna go help them. Just like... You ever get, really nervous when you're going to meet a bunch of family that you haven't seen in a while and you don't know how they'll react to you? Because you kind of didn't have the greatest of send-offs?
Honestly, yeah. Right now I got a daughter back somewhere fucking I can't get to. Who knows what she's gonna think when I get back. I have notes that I've written to her this whole time, but it's not like I have a way to get them to her. And honestly, that other guy, the big buff asshole, he's probably already still pissed. Well, he's not. Doesn't seem like it, but I'm sure he's still holding something against me for not telling him a lot of things.
I don't know. That guy seems to just really want to have your approval.
Well, he's got something to strive towards now, so I guess that's probably why he's trying.
But I always I knew that I kind of took solace in the fact that when I did eventually have to come back, there would at least be one person there who would be legitimately happy to see me. And not just because I can throw some spells around and ride on a raven, but because they actually like me.
Now there isn't. Elisanya, Elvina, you can hear her voice too.
Why are you taunting me? What do you have to do with any of this?
He's just a bitch who's really upset about things that happened in the past. We just ignore.
You're about to get what you want, man. Stop making. Fuck. And Malachi tries to compose himself again.
Malachi, make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean that was not very persuasive. that was the you better not stop bullying me or else I'll be really angry. Oh shit, I closed. Oh wait, no, roll 20's over here. Okay, even with disadvantage, it's still an 18.
Wow.
That's pretty good persuasion.
And an 18, you hear silence.
Nice. Fuck that bitch.
So there is a heart in there.
Well, I know it probably doesn't seem like a lot, and I know that you said that you don't want them to just be happy that you're going to show up, but you're going to show up, we're all going to save their asses, and then they'll be eternally grateful you anyhow, you know?
Yeah, I mean...
And plus, you've done an awful lot to help us rid this fucking Strahd lass out of here, too.
Yeah.
I'm sure the whole city will be honestly grateful for that part. But I really am sorry, lad. And she'll, clap him on the back. I know we haven't been around for a long time, but you do have a part here in the group. We do enjoy having you around.
I appreciate that. I don't know. This place wears you down.
Damn straight, man.
This place fucking wears you down, and if anyone deserved to be part of Barovia that didn't have Strahd in it, it was fucking him. Because he got kicked down every fucking day and always got back up with a smile. Didn't care.
He was one of the kindest lads that I think I've ever met in my life. A wee bit ditzy, but...
He deserved better from the world. And he deserved better from me. Anyways, I appreciate you coming out. I feel a bit better just being able to talk.
Well, lad, anytime. God damn, I've become the group's therapist. Elvina, silently, mumbles it to herself.
You do
okay, bitch. Okay.
What, Jaren?
You're muted, Jaren.
Fuck. What? I'm just trying. I can't hear you talk.
What?
What?
I thought she said Jaren. I thought you said.
Oh no, you were muted when you were
just
talking.
muted.
Okay.
My fault. Okay, yeah. No, we're
Before
good.
is all.
Sorry, I was responding. I thought you were calling out to him, and I was like, I can't fucking hear you.
No, not that.
You all sit on the stairs and quiet for a little bit until Elvina, you hear in your head, well, at least he has siblings to disappoint.
You You know, you
God,
say
she's
that,
just
but
a
I'm
bummer,
sure that
man.
you've also disappointed your sister. Look at where she is now. Look at where you are. If anything, you're both disappointing. Sorry, Mum. She sort of, like, says it mentally.
Whoops!
I guess the dead are incredibly disappointing.
Extremely.
They
She
were
says it very
disappointed when they were
monotone.
alive.
You must be so disappointed in your siblings then.
You hear her voice sort of fall off.
Yikes.
The one I
Um,
had absolutely no power over. The other one I tried to stop. What more can I do? It does hit Elvina, but she's not gonna let her know
Oh yeah,
that.
oh yeah,
Like-
oh yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for her to talk to me again, because I'm like, this
Deception
bitch.
check, Elvina.
This bitch.
Yeah, how well do you hide that it stung?
That's a rough one. Deception. Oh my god, it's a +5, 12.
Amazing.
Not
Bro,
horrible.
my deception is so fucking
Great.
high.
And you haven't used it?
Well, I haven't had, like... Alvina's a pretty open book. She's not trying to deceive a lot of folks, you know? Like, she speaks what she's thinking.
Poor girl. Don't worry, Auntie's here, darling.
Yep.
I'm here. Upstairs, in the sort of warmth of these brass lanterns all around you, Jaren, holy water, holy water, holy water, holy water, holy water. The grind does not stop. In this room up here is Aeolus, Thaddeus, Gertruda, as well as
Bones.
literally, thank you, as well as Bones.
Wait a second, I don't see Bones on the map.
He's in the main room still, I think.
I moved his mini outside. So let me move his mini inside.
He comes back in and he's a vampire.
Fuck!
Fuck!
You guys are here in the warmth of this brass room. You can explore the castle or stay here and talk amongst yourself. Thaddeus, after reading these kind of extensive books on law, gently sort of stacking them in front of you on this side table, making a sizable dent in each of them while Jaren rigorously goes through casting spell after spell to generate this holy water.
Oh, that's right. Elvina was also trying to teach herself the language, the spell book that she found.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. What language was that? Draconic? Infernal.
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 That's
great.
It was abyssal.
Abyssal.
Yeah, it was abyssal. I was like, Infernal. I was like, my ears would have perked up at Infernal, and so would David's.
Nobody speaks abyssal, which is why you had to learn it. What are you doing in this moment, Thaddeus?
Thaddeus, he's
More
honestly
research,
kind of, he's just rubbing his chin and like, he's like, oh man, this is some good material. I can use this in the courtroom.
Gertruda approaches you, and she says,
Oh, so you're
"Thank you for not, killing me. You could have, and you didn't, and that's kind."
Well, you may be a vampire, but you do still have free will, so I wanted to at least give you that back.
Your friend
For
keeps
now.
looking at me like he wants to eat me.
Yeah, we've run into some vampire, and they're not too friendly with them.
He's kind of
Probably don't go
scary. He's wearing a lot of stacked jackets. Is he cold? I could get him a blanket. He's wearing a lot of clothing.
Well, I mean, you could ask him. He is right there.
I don't think that that's a good idea, she says, and she looks towards you. She presents the card that I believe you gave her.
Yes.
What kind of services do you offer?
Oh, all kinds of services. Mainly, I deal with a new practice that me and my family's been trying to implement into the lands. It's we don't believe that everybody is necessarily guilty of a crime they've been charged with. So we're so we're trying to make it a fair and just system in the lands to where you're not guilty until proven otherwise.
And what are you calling your occupation?
Yes.
For now it's just Thaddeus's helping department, but we're working on the name.
Okay. Well, I'll keep this just in case I run into any trouble with the authorities. And she puts it in her pocket. I just wanted to thank you, and I suppose I've done that, so I'll go and inquire on what Bones is sniffing. Bones has opened a book, and he has opened it and is taking a deep whiff. He coughs up some dust.
Alvina glances at him as she's literally back to, like, trying to translate Abyssal and, like, yeah. That's the man I made a child with.
Wait, Gertrude, smell this. Smell this. I don't want... Smell it. Smell it. Smell it!
Smell it.
I really don't want to. It smells like right shit. Here. And she sort of brushes it with her nostrils. Oh, yeah, that doesn't smell good. It smells old. Thank you, Bones. That is disgusting.
This is great because I'm happy you did not
my
come immediately to me after that whole Malachi conversation because it would have gotten again depressing. Holy fuck!
Bones, that is covered in your snot. Oh, my bad. As he and Gertruda open and review some books. Aeolus, what are you doing?
Well, I have learned what I can from Jaren. Obviously, I don't have... In this time, I wouldn't have had enough, like, actual in-game time to have come up with a new phrasing and new wording for the ceremony spoken word that Jaren does to make it more Hades-fied. So that would be something that Aeolus would need to do prior to doing the ceremony himself. But also then immediately after hearing the Oleg news, would not talk. They just because they had a closer relationship with Oleg than anyone than Jaren and Elvina for sure. Maybe not as close as Malachi, but definitely a deeper kind of relationship on in the similar vein going towards that with Malachi, because Oleg was in love with Aeolus. Granted, not reciprocated, but they would say a prayer after hearing that Oleg has died, praying
Still
to
cared
Hades.
for him, though.
Yeah,
Aeolus
that's why
was a
Aeolus...
heartless bastard.
No, cared for him a lot. Like, as in, like, I was his fucking therapist. Like, genuinely working through his goddamn issues and, like, the way he
Trying to
views
make him
Danica.
a better person.
Yes. And I still stand on it. Oleg for mayor would have been a great way to spend the time in that town. Anyway. But Aeolus would say a prayer to Hades, asking for safe passage and leniency on Oleg's innocent soul.
Yeah. You say this prayer, praying for your God to take heed of Oleg's soul and offer him safe transport to whatever afterlife he chooses.
Did you want me to make a religion check or no?
You do not. You've had dialogues directly with your God.
You quite literally have met the man in person.
No religion is necessary. You do feel
You actually have Hades on.
Even Jaren is, like, jealous that you've met Hades.
Listen, I got Hades on speed dial. I'm using what Devin just said.
That is what I said 5 seconds ago.
I know. I gave you credit. I'm giving you credit for that.
You do feel some prickling on your skin and your fingers. And you feel something sort of heavy in your chest. But there's a warmth and grief that you feel. It is okay to grieve the dead.
And then after that, Aeolus started thinking about how Oleg would not want Aeolus to just sit there and be grief-stricken. Neither would his father, Altanasvin, and harp on his death, like how long it took him to officially get over Altanasvin's death or start to move on past it. So they would try to scan the room to see if there's anything that catches their eye, aside from this phylactery that was initially in the room, just to see if there's anything to not necessarily stave off boredom, but anything to, like, learn, whether it be magical or just knowledge-based.
I do have
From
my
this
tiny
library.
hut up, just as like
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember.
context.
That giant, the ball in the center of the room. You can certainly go about the room. You can make an investigation check or a perception check. If you are more actively looking for things to cure your boredom, I'll say it's investigation. If it's kind of passive, then we'll call it perception.
No, it would definitely be, like, active. All right, hold on, let me...
Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, okay. It's actually not too bad. Investigation...
Yeah,
hey,
what's that
19.
question, buddy? 19.
So, like, on...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you go ahead. I just wanted to say my score before.
Okay.
Go ahead.
On, like, these stairwells, when we come up, do we see the doors to each side, like this one or this one? Or is
So-
this a wall?
This right here, this is all wall. You cannot see inside here. You do see that when you came up these stairs, there were clearly like little archer outposts. Like you were to be shot. But because you have utilized the incantation, which has opened the passcode, essentially, has opened the door and dispelled this magic.
Okay.
But I got a 19.
On a 19, inside of the library, you are scanning the bookshelves and notice that some of the books appear to have blank covers and empty pages, which is interesting. The tomes, after you cast a dispel magic, because you had your magic detect magic up at some point, you're able to read some of them, and you recognize some of them as forbidden tomes. Some books
Well,
that are... Oh,
yeah.
go ahead.
I was just about to say, while Aeolus knows totally what forbidden tomes are, Christian has no fucking clue.
So these tomes are books of magic that are outlawed. They have some of the basic teachings and understandings for wizards to learn spells like Disintegrate and Power Word Kill. These are very, very, very powerful tomes. The one that you first sort of touch is called the Tome of Tiberash, and you can make a history check if you would like.
Oh, absolutely. You're offering me these checks? I'm going to do them now. Okay,
Okay.
a 21.
Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Rolling decent.
So, Aeolus, you have not spent a lot of time understanding dark magics, but Altanasvin certainly has. And the Tome of Tiberash is written by an ancient wizard. Hold on, one moment. Tiberash was called once Tiberash the Withered Flame. Okay?
Yeah.
in half-remembered scrolls of the Elder Days and the Dalaran, Tiberash was referenced, but people sort of only ever speak of him in hushed tones, kind of like Voldemort. He's known as the Withered Flame. It is a title born from his scorched cities and shattered kingdoms. He's the High Arcanist of the Forgotten Empire, so the Elvish Empire that occupied the Dale lands once before. He began like having a revered mastery over fire elements and attempted to encage or capture an elemental creature to serve and do his biddings. He eventually was felled by a group of heroes who have lost their name to time, but his soul became a black star beyond the world's rim in exchange for eternal life. In arcane omnipotence, he gave up his name and his humanity, and even the light behind his eyes. Tiberash, to some, is recognized as some kind of arcane god of magic. To some. But as far as you would understand him as a native of the Dalelands and anyone who is well versed in the arcane arts, he was a warlord and a tyrant. He had a staff called Ashmal, carved from heartwood, that grew from a tree in the Forgotten Empire, that they say hums with heat and dread, and that his presence, or the presence of his heartwood staff, makes candles flicker black and dreams curdle into nightmares. And as you are reading this tome, there is mention of this staff called Ashmal. And adjacent to it are notes scrawled in Abyssal.
Of course, I don't fucking understand Abyssal. God damn it.
We're learning.
Somebody's learning, though.
Okay.
Oh, indeed learning.
Baller. I love lore.
The thing is, I don't know if I would pocket it because it's not enough to tempt me, because if some view him as God, I don't even want to tempt it.
You think maybe you should try to give this to Elvina to see if she can decipher these notes.
Okay. And then I'll just walk over to Elvina and I'll say, you might make something of this, I'm not entirely sure.
Elvina, you've been reading through Abyssal Scroll all night, pausing only to offer solace to Malachi. The Abyssal language is something that is very, 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 very hard for you to understand. But one of these words on these pages you have seen quite frequently, and now sort of understand it to mean trial. And then there's a number, the number 1 in common, so trial 1. And then you see trial 2, trial 3, trial 4, all in reference to this staff called Ashmal, written in the Lich's handwriting.
She'll tell you sort of like what she's gotten. She's like, I haven't gotten far in translating Abyssal. This language is fucking difficult as hell. But there's something about trials on here, and like multiple levels of those trials.
Elvina, you're an intelligent person. If this Lich was running trials on this ancient staff, he had to have it. And if he's still here, it's gotta be here somewhere.
I'm assuming Aeolus would also sort of like
Oh yeah.
know that as well, so I'm not gonna tell you that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna literally I think what I would do is I would just make eye contact with you. Say nothing. Close the book and put it gently back on the shelf.
Honestly, valid. A lot of the stuff I've been looking at, I feel the same. But I'm just hoping that this shit in here that I could learn, not necessarily like evil shit. I don't want to turn into a lich, but some of those spells were fucking wicked.
You could try to find it. You hear a sort of tempting voice in your head.
Why would I want to try
Elvina
to
or
find
me?
it?
Elvina, you hear this.
Okay.
She'll say out loud, "Why would I try to find it?"
And I'll look back after I've put it on the shelf after you. I assume. Do you say this out loud, by the way?
Yes.
I'll look back.
This is
Sorry.
Elisania in your head that you hear, but you
I
do
know.
not hear this, Aeolus.
No, I
I
know,
say it
but
out
if she, if Elvina's replying verbally out loud, Aeolus would then turn around after having put the book back on the shelf, and I'll just look back and I'm like, "Is your bitch of an aunt talking to you again? Tell her to shut the fuck up."
It's easier said than done, mate.
This is a place, Elvina, where great wizards kept their secrets. A great staff belonging to a great wizard might come in handy in fighting the devil, wouldn't it, just?
Yeah, but see, I don't trust anything that comes out your fucking mouth. And I feel like if I find this stick, something bad's gonna happen. I don't know if I really want that. I already got you. That's bad enough.
The only reason you're in this room is because I led you here. Remember that?
Are you telling me you want this damn stick?
I have no corporeal form to wield it.
I know, that's so funny. She slaps her knee.
I couldn't attune to it if I wanted. You can hear, like, venom in her voice.
Yep.
Clearly that has struck a chord. Fine then. I won't need you to it.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay.
If that's
Yeah.
fine with me. She goes back to studying this in Abyssal.
Honestly, Aeolus, I think at this point would pick the book back up after having read it, and would probably take out their own notebook.
Yeah.
And write down, like, just in, like, shorthand,
Mm-hmm.
taking certain important points from the book to have, like, jotted down so they can then rewrite it, and then they will have set the book on fire.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to scribe all of the information from the book. Is that
Minus minus the trials, all of the abyssal, because Aeolus doesn't understand abyssal. So they're just going to scribe down, like, the important points and kind of the history of what is being told, and then burn the book.
Yeah. So they're deeper. If you take the time to read the full book,
Oh, the whole book I would have read.
you would read that Tiberash, famously, people believe that he, as this god, is now seeking the 7 sigils of unmaking, ancient relics that would collapse reality into a blank canvas. And others believe he's seeking something far worse. He is trying to return from what has called him to the stars. But I will put some of the lore in the chat. This is one of the evil wizards who's at the very least definitely his scythe or staff has been kept here.
Damn.
Is there any other books that you would like to flip through or take a look at, Aeolus, while you're in here, or anyone else?
Anyone that would pique Aeolus's fancy to begin with, but
I'd say this it would probably take about 5 castings, about 5 hours of just active casting.
What is this room?
It's a room.
And do I see a door to find this room?
Let me pull up the map. So that room, you do not see a door to find that room. You would have to go out, like down here, and then you would have to go here, and then
that's a
here,
broken balcony, right?
and then
Like
here.
this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But there's also access here, but you need to roll high to discern that.
Is this a bookcase that moves?
You can make an investigation check. You certainly.
I am
It's good
going to.
It's good you mentioned that, because I was actually just about to say, after
Elvina
brooding
likes
for a
exploring, man.
bit, Malachi comes back in and is basically rummaging through the place, looking like this lich has to have some fucking secret shit somewhere. And it's like,
what is a dirty? Do I see anything with a dirty 20?
A 20 is the DC, which is amazing.
Hell yeah.
As Malachi is sort of rummaging and tossing books off the shelves, like very clearly emotionally distraught, and sort of tattering, you see that he kind of misses over one, and when you go to reach for it, you pull it and you hear a click, and then as you open a doorway that leads to this kind of weird hallway, and then to another door, which you open. Or do you open?
Yeah, she absolutely fucking opens it.
Okay.
Alvina's learned some, but not a lot, you know? Like,
Fantastic.
Buddy system, Malachi
she honestly
says,
in her head is like, I'm sorry, Jaren, I'm fucking opening this door while you can't stop me.
If one of you dies in there, I'm not bringing you back.
That's fine, this bitch doesn't want me to die anyhow. As she points to her backpack, or like her fucking satchel-esque.
Well, Malachi is going with Elvina because
we buddied up, we'll be fine.
Malachi is also very curious, but also because buddy system.
Yes! I love passageways!
In this room,
I am a big fan of
its
secrets.
ceilings are about 50 feet high. You see the trappings of royalty, ornate furniture, exquisite rugs and tapestries decorate this sanctuary, this bedroom. There are candelabras lit on the small table, and the beauty of this room's decor is undone by a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Standing, or not really standing, I guess, but sort of unconscious, or not unconscious, just dead, on the bed is the skeletal remains of someone.
Oh, that's.
But there are a bunch of.
Sick.
There is a ornate desk here, another small bookshelf here, and a chest here with kind of a hefty lock on it.
I want to go explore the desk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you mentioned the desk, the chest, and there was a third thing, right?
Bookcase.
There's a bookcase here. There is
corpse.
the chest here.
Corpse.
There is a skeleton on the bed, and there is a bookcase with a bunch of rolled scrolls and parchment everywhere over here.
Got it. While Elvina looks at the desk, Malachi will look at the bookshelf.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh, no brooms in here, so I'm gonna count that as a win for myself. She says.
So everyone keeps talking about this broom thing. Did you actually get killed by a broom?
Listen, the first house we went into, I was not prepared for the crazy shit that happens in the city quite yet. And yeah, I did. I got knocked by a broom. But we're here now. It's fine. Moving on.
So on this desk, Elvina, that you approach, you see candles made of some black tallow. They kind of look like the candle that Jaren has, except you don't sense anything arcane coming from them. They are lit with a tall, unnatural flame that casts no light, but only shadow. There are some scrolls written in some kind of living ink. When you touch the page, the ink begins to spread and scrawl whatever you think onto it. You see, what the fuck? Why is the ink on the paper moving? Oh my god, the ink
This is fucking crazy.
There are some tiny twitching things inside of vials. They look kind of bulbous and like fluid leaking from a brain. They don't look like anything that you've seen born in this world, and there's a bunch of these little vials all across this desk. You see a skull on this desk with an extra set of eye sockets at the very precipice of the skull.
Cool.
Only good things.
And
Yeah.
you see some loose notes and schematics. You see some math is being done on one of the pages. You see on another page is the sort of a diagram of a body. You see this diagram of a body of some kind of creature with a double set of eyes. And you see that someone has sort of crudely drawn what the insides of this creature look like. It has tendrils hanging from its face and these kinds of fangs that remind you of a creature you've heard of, a mind flare, but this is something different, something more menacing.
Does any of those notes have... Would Elvina know if any of those notes have anything to do with, like, she saw the trial, you know, repeatedly written in the one book?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she would, like... Does it have anything to do with that, is my question. And would she also think that? Because I feel like she would.
So these notes are written in a different language, but it's one that you can read. This is Elvish. These are
Yes.
You recall that there were elvish wizards here that were attempting to contain great evils and studying those great evils, and this is likely the room of one of those elvish wizards, whereas the lich obviously was attempting to have mastery over great evils. Yeah, but as you touch any of these pages, images that you think in your mind begin to appear on them. What is Elvina thinking in this moment as you touch these pages?
Go to Devin for a second, and I'm gonna think on this.
Okay, Devin,
Cool.
baby, what is Malachi looking for in this room?
Okay, yeah. So Malachi just got some pretty bad news, and I assume, probably a few hours have passed at this point. So Malachi is looking for basically anything that will be able to help prep for when they eventually go to the Wizard of the Line. So
There
Really?
is definitely a big, dusty chest with some kind of lock on it. I will say that the lock is not as dusty as the other things in this room. Like, it has been more recently used or accessed.
got it. Yeah, so, Malachi was letting Elvina look at the desk. Malachi's looking at the bookshelf for perhaps maybe the key is hidden there somewhere. Malachi definitely has the chest in mind, and I guess to make it a little more broad, is generally looking for the key to that chest.
Looking at this chest, it's old.
Mhm.
It doesn't look particularly sturdy. While the key might be out of reach, you feel like you could probably break it.
Oh. Well, Hey, Elvina, do you mind if I make a little bit of noise?
Go right ahead as she's looking at the page. And I think that after her conversation with Alisanya, she would be thinking of, like, her mother and her sister still.
Do this. When you recall the visage of your mother, your sister, do you see them alive or dead?
Her mom, honestly, it is like, the picture isn't really detailed. Because she did, like, lose her when she was really young, so, like, as she's gotten older, the image that she has of her mother has gotten more faint. She knows that she looks like her herself. but she doesn't know exactly. She can't remember exactly what her mother looked like. But her sister, I think it is a very detailed image. And it is before she was killed.
If you guys wouldn't mind playing this, Elden Ring Prayer Room, I've just put it in the chat. If you wouldn't mind putting that on.
Cool.
Your finger touches a page, and you see a slender body illustrated. First, her hands, then a sort of thin dress, and a necklace that you recognize, but her face is smudged, besmirched by memory. You try to remember your mother's nose, and you think, well, did she look like me more, or did she look like my sister? And you can't recall. Her face is sort of smudged there. But your sister, you know exactly what her face looks like. Standing beside your mother, her hand gripping your mother's shoulder tightly, digging her nails into her skin. You see this visage of your sister standing behind your mother, but there is a cruel smile pressed to her lips, and she's more frightening than you remember her being. And this visage of her is smiling at you, wickedly.
I think Elvina will push the papers away from her, like sort of fling them off the desk, and just turn and look at Malachi as he's busting this chest open. To not acknowledge that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Malachi is just trying to hack away at it, taking his sword out, trying to break through.
You need some help with that?
I mean, if you can, should I be like rolling attack rolls on this chest or something?
I don't think so.
Elvina's gonna pick up the desk chair and just walk over and fucking smash the hell out of it, because she's already pissed.
I think that you see that as you walk over there with that desk chair, Malachi has already broken into the chest. He has just been hitting splintered wood.
Well, damn, I was hoping to break something, so she'll just smash it on the wall anyhow. That's what she was thinking in her head.
Yeah, you see that Malachi has already successfully broken into it. He is just simply shattering the wood at this point.
Yeah, I think Malachi is getting some catharsism. Is that right? Is that the right word?
Let me Google the definition.
I think so. Catharsism or whatever. Yeah.
He feels good. It feels good to beat up a chest.
Inside are some other more ornate tomes that kind of mean nothing next to this. You see
Catharsis.
Covered in dust.
Catharsis.
Is a staff. Atop it kind of looks like a torch. Atop it is clearly a place where you would light fire. This staff has been recently used. It is not as dust covered as the other things there within. This staff is called... Guess what? It's called...
It's the Ashereth or whatever.
Ashereth Mention Synthos. Are we going with that?
That's Azarath. That's okay.
Okay,
You see
I'm silly
engraved
goose.
into it in an Elvish language is Ashmal.
Ashmal.
I believe you both understand.
That thing looks cool. This is like a Malachi is going to risky reach down and pick it up.
You pick it up.
Nice cock.
Malachi, I want you to make
Yeah. Make me do it.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh,
give
shit.
me that.
Excuse me. No. I'm speaking Japanese. It's charisma.
Oh.
Okay, that's better.
So,
much better for me.
the staff gonna riz you up.
Yeah.
How are you gonna fuck that staff, bro?
I want to fuck that staff.
I'm gonna
It's a
fuck
sexy
that
ass staff.
I rolled a 23.
Wow.
High
I'm a
ballers
warlock,
tonight.
baby. My charisma is good.
On a 23. This staff feels so good in your palm. You love how powerful this staff makes you feel.
Oh, this is Jay's rod all over again.
It's warm to the touch, and it makes you feel almost whole. Like when you have this staff, you're not alone.
Oh.
Malachi, if anyone were to try to take this staff from you, I'm afraid you'd have to kill them.
Oh.
Nice.
That's how
You
much
want a 23 charisma save down, mate?
it is this staff of an arch wizard.
Not bad. Not bad.
This staff is everything, and you have to protect it. Because I think everyone's trying to take it from you.
Oh.
I would break it. Don't give it to me.
Well, I don't think he would give it to anybody because he doesn't want to. He's
Well,
compelled
yeah,
to.
it sounds like it's my precious.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you'd want to break it anyhow. honestly.
Malachi is like kind of running his thumb alongside where Ashmal is engraved into it, and is just kind of staring into the light at the top, like kind of mesmerized. This is cool. I like this. I like this. Well, it's mine now.
Sounds good and dandy.
just whoop.
Everything here is fucking hell causing though, so be careful.
As you both...
Thank you. I just to be clear, Haley put in some information about this staff and then put this weapon is cursed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was literally, Alvina's literally just saying that in game already. Like everything fucking here is hell. So good luck, bud.
Oh, this is.
As you are
This is
going
nice.
to leave this room, Malachi, these images are fading off of the paper below you, but you do see two women, and you also see a visage of a child on another piece of paper, just sort of faintly impressed there. But as Elvina steps over these images, they fade away. Jaren, it is hard work summoning water this holy. Oh my god.
It feels like a flow state.
You have to keep going. You cannot stop. You need to destroy this phylactery. Your wife and daughter are at Argynvost. The were-ravens are under attack, and the vampire is here, and there is no alcohol in this room, you think. You think there's no alcohol in this room, you've looked around, you don't know if there is or isn't. And you're kind of at your wit's end.
Can I do a Percepidillis check in this room to see if there's anything else that catches my eye?
Yeah, you can.
19.
On a 19, Malachi's staff is fucking really looks really cool on his back. The paper is interesting. If you wanted to take the paper, you certainly can.
Nah, fuck that paper. She's pissed at that paper.
I'm
But
pissed
most-
at that paper.
She said, fuck that paper.
They're the specimen in jars. You can certainly take some specimen.
You should eat
Honestly,
one.
maybe. I think she'll take a couple of the vials of the weird things and put them in her little, like, satchel thigh pack thing that she has.
Hey, quick question. Do you take that skull with 4 aisles?
Honestly, she is gonna pick it up and take it at least into the other room.
Super.
She's gonna be like, look what I found.
Amazing. Fantastic. That is wonderful.
Oh, you know what? Before we fully leave this room, we did not. We never investigated the bed with the skeleton. Malachi would like to take a quick look and see if there's any identifying features of the skeleton or if
Aye.
it was just a guy.
The skeleton is wearing these kind of silk robes.
I'm not touching anything. I already touched a cursed thing. I'm not gonna touch another cursed.
There is kind of this rusted dagger embedded in its rib cage cavity. You imagine that this may have at one point been the thing to kill it. There are rolling bugs and centipedes and maggots on top of this mattress, sort of curled up together. Clearly, at one point, had feasted on the remnants of this corpse, but they are kind of calcified and dead. Like they're kind of like the way that a cicada's body becomes hard and gross.
Ew.
Poor guy.
Hot. I'll say.
He's not gonna. At least he's not gonna take my staff. Malachi leaves.
I'm sure that that's the guy who it belonged to in the first place. Elvina will mumble as she leaves behind Alec.
Back in this room, Jaren.
Back in this room.
Here, sort of briefly in the back of your mind. It is so prodigal that a great son has returned, and you have reunited with your daughter. What a beautiful family reunion.
I think just kind of continuing the muttering of the prayer and the chant keeps it
Sonya's a
internal.
bitch, man.
And goes, it's nice, but maybe better circumstances.
This is something that you say in your head.
Mm-hmm. Yes. To her.
I never expected to see one of my kin again either. Especially with her heart pumping blood in her chest.
I really don't like you.
Does Elisanya also expect that, like, all of the Dusk Elves are, like, gone and wiped out? Does she know that already? Or, like, assumed?
She died before that happened.
Before, like, the Casimir situation and everything?
So you can inquire further on her, and attempt to see, but as she died when they were like batten down the temple, and she was like, we should take these artifacts of power and use them against her, and as far as you know, your mother was like, no.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
No, you're totally fine.
I kind of sit there and go, just in my head, continuing to her, I really don't like you. I mean, I don't understand most people here. You have some weird thing with your knees. Why?
When you have been done wrong as I have, it is a generational kind of pain. Something I'm sure your daughter is familiar with.
Wow, you're just gonna hold over what happened between you and your sister with her daughter. She doesn't even know.
So you hold grudges against her mother. That's where this comes from.
My sister is long dead, I know this.
So why hold it? Why hold on past death like this? Are you happy like this?
It is a lifetime ago. But to me, it is fresh. The wound I feel, it doesn't leave me.
That's your choice. You can let go whenever you want. It's not easy, but you can let go. I'm not telling you what to do. I've just never met a happy ghost.
I don't think I will. Why would I when I have such pleasant company? And you feel her sort of fall from your mind. That pressure is gone.
As she goes, I hope she hears the last little bit as I say, I feel sorry for you. As I then pick up with the prayer immediately out loud.
Is that an earnest sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. It feels colder in the room.
Nothing I can do. I think I need to take a break. Aeolus, I think it's time you take a shot at it. It don't have to be words, can be intent. Just give it a try.
And then I will take over for Jaren. I will say, even though you casted Timon's tiny hut, I feel like as I'm performing the ceremony, at least the interior would start to shift. I like kind of just like not like a just for flavor context of like
yeah,
just
what the fuck does it look like? Tell us.
I love this as the night sky fades away.
It is then taken over by a, we'll say, the hue inside of the hut is now red tint. And it has it has like a red tint in it, and then the entirety of it just becomes like what looks like a water. The water looks dark, but not in a dirty way, like in or like a grayish almost, but still like pure water.
Yeah.
And then it comes like up, and there's like various like as it comes to the ceiling, there's a, we'll say a stalagmite, like a red stalagmite, kind of just at the very top, hanging over this phylactery. And as Aeolus does his their incantation, they don't just sit; they walk around the room, touching the edges of the Timon's tiny hut, which would make this watery ripple from wherever they touched. And wherever the water rippled, it would go all the way up to the stalagmite, and then the water for it would just drip off the stalagmite into the pot.
What do you think from Aeolus's dream is the most heavy in their mind?
From their dream?
Yeah.
Define heavy. Like heavy in what context?
Like, what is weighing on you the most?
In this moment,
what impacted you the most from your dream?
From my dream, I would say just the feeling of eternity and how the hue and everything had shifted from the first dream that they had within the first time they had met Hades. And that's why it would be like this. And the Aeolus walking around signifies them walking around the pool initially the second time, when they were walking around the pool of water on the outskirts of it, the second time, with the ceiling kind of like, the stalagmite is like an obsidian, like glossy, by the way, I forgot to say that, but then the feeling of eternity as Aeolus would like touch the water ripple, and it would like the ripple would seemingly never stop, but it would never get greater than a ripple. It would always just be like a tap, like you threw in a water, like a rock, a small pebble into a pool of water, and it just, that ripple just kind of goes on for endlessly, and would change where that came about as he would, like, they would walk around this tiny hut. So I would say the heaviness of it would be the eternity. Therefore, the ripple would feel endless.
I love that.
Remember the words of your god.
You tread upon sorrowed ground, my servant.
And as you tap these watery visages, you witness grief. You see, again, like you're watching from the trees, you see yourself watching Altanasvan die. You see his corpse exploding. You see this great cleric casting this magic, high magic, powerful magic, like you've never seen before. You see his white robe tattered in blood, his beard marred with it. And then you see it ripple away in this red liquid.
Your grief is plenty, but I will offer you refuse.
You hear his words back in your mind. And they are comforting, even though it is sad to acknowledge a great death of someone that you loved so much. Jiren, there is no alcohol in this room. You have like up and down.
I immediately like I start to like look for my flask, and then I think about it. I gave it to Nefron as an apology, and I go, "Fuck! It's in Chicago."
Wait, but what if like Nefron just like dropped it after he went bloop? Like he went poof and it just dropped.
I think A, for narrative reasons, and A, for the bit, it is in Chicago now.
It's in Chicago. He's pouring one out for his girlfriend.
I'm like, I really need to learn to control my anger. God dang it.
Jaren, it appears you're looking for something. What are you looking for? What happened?
I just really could use a drink.
Oh, I always carry a flask on me. Would you like a swig?
Oh yeah, thanks, Saloon. Please, that takes a lot out of me.
Be careful, it's a little strong. I usually take it when I'm just reading at night.
I think I sniff it, and I wonder. I guess I'll leave it to DM discretion or Alan.
So if that wyvern drink that you had is like the hard, like rubbing alcohol, this smells like a pina colada on like a vacation.
I kind of look at him and I say, I think he like looks down, like sniffs it, and he like rethinks the word. It's be careful, it's pretty strong. And I kind of just look up at you and go, it don't matter. And then I take a drink.
It's giving. This will be the heaviest song you have ever heard. I met a girl and she really likes me.
Yes, it's so good. I take a very large swig. Like half of it's gone.
Half gone.
And I give it back and I say, I'm sorry, I'll get you more in the next town. I think we have more of the wyvern at home. Oh god. I need to sit down. I think he's going to like collapse into one of the armchairs.
You can join Alvina on the steps. She's left the room.
Alvina, don't move your token anywhere crazy, okay?
No, she's just on the steps. She's doing a Malachi moment. And just sort of...
Oh my gosh, she's doing a me.
She's just sort of sitting and contemplating life.
Kieran, you settle in. Sitting down.
I sit down. And I look up and I see Aeolus continuing his version and how it's very interesting in the way of like how prayer and the concentration of magic works, especially within divinity itself. Um, while this is my spell, his divinity is influencing the spell, and I kind of just look back, and I begin to see in the clear water, um, like the grayish but still clean water, as if I look too close for flavor, Christian, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I look through and I kind of stare, and I do still see a little bit of a night sky when you focus a little bit too much, but then it goes away with the rest of the water. I think Jaren's really tired,
Yeah.
but
Make a
also,
Constitution saving throw, Jaren.
yeah, kind of blackout. Where's my? Where did you go? Why did you go away? My compooper don't like me today, apparently. Constitution. That is an 11.
On an 11, your eyes are heavy, and you are looking at the night sky as they gently and slowly close. The night sky becomes more expansive, more impressive, and you see the beautiful big moon. And you hear the sound of the waterfall, and you're home. Home. You're a grown man, but you're wearing robes that you would have only worn as a boy. You wouldn't have, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, chosen to wear them as an adult. This wouldn't have been something that you would have been proud to wear. But you're a grown man and you're wearing these impressive robes, these white robes. You have your moonstone pressed to your chest, and you see standing next to you is your wife. Except she is clad in armor, and she is holding her staff, and her hair is braided tight on her head, and she is bleeding from her temple. At the base of the steps of the Moon Temple.
Honey, are you okay? I kind of like instinctually reach up to like touch the wound, to attempt casting like a healing spell on her, or to just trying to see what happened.
She flinches, and she moves out of the way, grabbing her spear, turning to look at you, and she doesn't recognize you.
Darling, what's wrong? What's going on?
She's speaking in a language that you don't yet understand. She has this very, very powerful spear.
I kind of look at it and realizing that there's a bit of like a conflict in the mind. What's wrong? And I kind of like go to a more defensive and say, just calm down. Just take a breath.
He's gone. He's gone, and this is all of your fault, she says, and she shoves you.
Oh, just calm down. Why are you pushing me?
I will not. Calm down. Don't you tell me to calm down. Her chest is heaving. You see she is stressed. What do you mean you can scry on him no longer? You see him no longer. Why? As she's screaming at you. Make a general intelligence check.
Yeah. 5.
On a 5, you don't understand who she's looking for, but she's crying so hard. You want to help her.
I don't. You're not making any sense. Scry on who? I'm right here.
Her lip curls up, and she looks at you with disgust. How dare you say that to me? She strikes you in the face.
Stop! Hope, stop. And I kind of, the hit is a little bit of a triggering feeling.
Yeah. You are, with that hit, pushed to a step, and you're looking down at yourself, but it's not you, right? It's Cyrus looking at her as she speaks a language that he doesn't understand, but you do. In Abyssal, she is begging him to help her. She strikes his skin. She looks lethal here when she talks to him.
I look down and I see Cyrus's face. I go, what's happening? No, this is wrong. No, this is all wrong. I begin to kind of panic and look up at her and say, just calm down. I kind of begin to put up a bit of a, still not realizing that this isn't a dream, but knowing something is wrong, is going to kind of put up just a bit of a defense of magic as a prep. So just, please stop. Don't make me do this. This isn't right.
She looks past you over your shoulder. Now, darling, relax. I'm sure there's some kind of explanation as to why we have not been able to locate him, but it is no reason to get yourself all worked up. Do not tell me not to worry for him. You have been able to see him all this time, and suddenly not. He dared to tell me. Your goddess, she will know. Ask her. She does not commune with me. I have prayed. Please. Now, I think that there is a little girl at home in desperate need of her mother, and he goes to reach to grab her hands, and she pushes him away. And she is equally in need of her father, and I have let this go on for far too long. I have to find him. I have to. And the night sky sort of blurs this visage as she sort of begins to stomp off and stomp away. She disappears, and you see, sitting on these steps is now your daughter. She is significantly older, and she sits with her head sort of hankered between her legs. And you feel yourself wearing once more these robes. But you know that you're not in your own body. What would Silas say to comfort an orphan child? You would know exactly, wouldn't you?
I think. Oh, God. My brain. You've done it to me. Okay. Actually, I think I'm blanking right now. I apologize.
No, you're totally fine. You know exactly what Silas would say to comfort an orphan child. He places his hand gently on her shoulder, and he says, "It is okay to be afraid. Now, I have seen things that have frightened me all my life. I've witnessed the divine.
And that is the scariest thing I've ever seen. But if I know anything about your parents...
And he sort of chicks his finger under her chin.
I know that they are strong. And that they would certainly not leave you here alone with me.
And she kind of laughs. I just don't understand why she would go after him after all this time.
Love does a lot of things to us. Have I ever told you about my sister?
You had a sister? A female version of you?
I did. I loved my sister so much it caused a pain in my chest. You ever love something that much? I know you do.
I mean, I've had a crush before, kind of.
Not on the candle boy. I mean love. Deep, sincere, true love. It's the way that your mother looks at your father and the way that he looks at her.
We're pretty fucking gay.
True.
Listen,
Yes.
true love's crazy, man. Shut the fuck up.
But they
Well,
they
you're
always
fucking gay
look
too.
so sad when they look at each other.
No. It's because they're both failing to keep promises that they've made to each other. And when they look at each other, that's that promise. Now, what I promise you is that your parents will eventually return here, and they will return to you. Your mother will stop at nothing to reach you, and your father, he will come back.
I think in this moment
Mm-hmm.
of feeling the words leave my mouth and hearing the pause and the he will come back, it's like every angry feeling I've ever had, and I just try to bite. Like, it's almost like I try to clench my own jaw, but it won't stop, and I can't stop it as the words keep coming out.
He looks at him hopefully. And with her chest full. Do you know what Silas says in this moment to her?
No, I do not. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. He looks at her and he says,
Now, you know what will aid in the preparation and return of your parents? Prayer. Now, there's not power in many things, but there is power in prayer. And you, he looks at you. He looks at her.
but suddenly she is you.
Now, my first night I ever attended a night of mystery, I was petrified. Could you imagine me being afraid of a little moonlight? And he laughs.
And she looks at him and she says, "Yeah, I was really scared, but it wasn't that bad at all. It was beautiful."
And that there is because you were chosen by a goddess. I have not seen that brightness, well, since he laughs, a long time. You lit that whole sanctum up. I saw it.
Kind of felt like fire. Like my body was being torn away. It was scary and painful, but it was beautiful. Make an insight check with advantage.
Okay. Da-ba-da. Double 18s plus 18 plus 8 for 26.
26. Oh, shit.
On a 26, she grimaces at the mention of the Night of Mystery, like twinging in pain. And
Yeah, I
you-
think
You see that her hands, she's holding her hands like on her knees, sort of crossed over. You see them dig into the flesh at her wrists, and she starts like scratching instinctively.
But it was beautiful, I guess.
I
It
think
is-
back.
Mm-hmm.
I think back, and I think there's that instinctual of like these words. The words that she says are so opposite of what I truly felt that night at first, and there's a genuine confusion and a thought of how strong she must be, how different we are, and then sees the signs. And sees the signs that he had in the same way when he talked about it. Of, it's fine. And always deflecting from that pain and scratching at the wrists. And says, she really is my daughter. And then that statement, while brings joy, also brings the sorrow of his own pains.
Silas, I'm gonna head home. I love you.
And she gives him a big hug. And she she walks down these steps and he watches her. Damn. Well, she's his daughter, he says. As she gallivants down the
Oh. Oh.
I think your audio is cutting.
Ooh.
We got Gallivant, and that was about it.
And we...
she
Oh.
And she's gone.
Try ending your call and then join again, bud.
This is so important.
So it's really, hey, while we're waiting, hey, just talking to my mic. Just talking to my mic and do the thing while your Discord freaks out.
Okay. Let's go.
The camera is on.
Gallivants.
I'm gonna let you choose in this moment. You can either choose to stay with Silas or you can follow your daughter.
Ooh.
Whichever you want.
Flip a coin.
Flip a 20-sided dice.
Flip it. Don't spin it. Don't toss it.
Flip
Flip
it.
Oh, I can't hear anything he's saying.
Uh-oh. That ain't good.
Switch headsets.
She
R.I.P.
pulled her headset out.
R.I.P. I'm gonna say I rolled a dice. I'm going to follow Isabel.
Ooh.
As soon as she is out of sight of Silas, she starts taking off her shoes
Mm-hmm.
and taking off her armor, and you watch her shift instantly. And she begins running quickly. You yourself have to shift to keep up. Even she is like, as a child, she was always fast. She is fucking fast as hell. She is so quick. She runs back home. She pushes open the door, and you see that her home is empty. There is a bunch of warding symbols all over each precipice and each door of the dwelling. Before Hope had left, she had warded this building to all hell. But there is no smell of
the spices inside. There's nothing. It's dull and quiet without your wife and yourself here, and you see her sort of frantically putting things in a bag. Very quickly, she is crying heavy and hot tears. Oh, mine's back. Hold on.
Yep.
Let's go.
Here you go. Hold on. Pause the roleplay.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Back in black.
Black streets. Go ahead.
Yeah, that word can just go so many ways.
What you say?
Oh, we were just singing.
Okay.
Back streets back. All right.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right.
You see her moving throughout the house, tears falling from her face as she begins to collect almost sort of random items from around your home.
I think as I watch her run inside to start collecting things frantically, I take my hand and kind of put it on to the door frame to the entrance. And I just run my hand across it. And I look at the part where the door frame was partially broken from that night. And I never fixed it. And I kind of look to her instead. And I think of the information Aeolus gave me. And I shove that away.
Some.
Some, yeah. And I shove that away. That's not important. And I begin to watch her. And I kind of, not knowing if this is memory or something else, begins to walk towards things that he thinks that she should take wherever she's going. The larger knife, the extra cloth for bandages, the jerky under the drawer.
When you touch her neck, she pauses, and her eyes flick to the jerky. And she grabs it, and she begins picking up the bigger knife and tossing out her tights, because why would she need them? And she puts some more practical items in, almost like she's hearing your voice in her head.
Don't go. Stay here.
You watch her walk into your room, where your side of the bed is still untouched, as you remember from the vision that you saw in Hope's mind. And she reaches her hands down in front of the sort of trundle where you kept your clothes, and she grabs a pair of boots that you remember taking off. And she grabs them, and they're not going to fit her feet. There's no way. But she's not taking them because she plans to wear them. She puts them inside her bag, and she begins to pray. Luna, praying is really awkward. Please, protect my mama, please. She's a hothead, isn't it? And I don't know what she's gotten herself into. And she looks at the boots. Please help me find my dad, please. And she squeezes them tight to her chest.
And she closes her eyes. And when she reopens them, they glow. Okay, she whispers. Okay. And she begins nodding. Okay.
No. No, Isabel, no.
Okay. She goes back into her bedroom and she grabs her moonstone and she grabs a compass. Guide me, please. Please.
Isabel, just stay here. I know he can't actually interact with her, but it is just like the frantic last. No, don't listen. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to what she's saying. That's not who you think it is. You need to stay. You stay here.
When you say that's not who you think it is, I need you to make a perception check.
Okay. I am good at those.
Yeah, I need you to make a perception check. I'll even let you do it with advantage.
Because I also, with leveling up, went to level 20 wisdom. So that's
Hey, it's wise as hell.
This
I'm a
dude's smart.
wise man. Haley, how do you feel about a natural 20 for a total of 28?
Amazing. On a
Do I see you?
on a 20 on a 28. You see standing outside the window, the one that your daughter broke, the one that isn't actually a window anymore. A finger has lifted the side, and someone is watching her. There are eyes there, reflecting back and looking at you. Someone is looking at her. You see their fingers moving and casting some kind of spell. But you know it is not Saloon's presence in this place. You know that to be true. She would never send your daughter after you.
No.
And as you move closer to that window, the eyes looking back at you are eyes that you recognize.
I think instinctually, just instinctually, I'm going to attempt to kind of transform or shift or whatever it is, not even thinking about it, and just full on jumping at like a leap, like I'm going to pounce at whoever this is. I don't know if I'll go through them, if I'll touch them, if this will break anything. I just and like growl and go to bite.
You catch in the light decadent rubies spinning in the eyes of a skull lich, because you know that Strahd can't leave Barovia. That's her curse too. But she can send a vampire to do her will, a very, very powerful caster to convince a little girl that her god is talking to her.
Or Bones. She also has been working with Bones, apparently.
The visage of this lich looks at you, and this image of your daughter, your home, it fades away, and this lich looks at you in your eyes and says, "Hello. You have failed me."
Failed you?
"You've killed me."
Yes, because you deserve nothing.
"Do you think that will be enough to save your daughter?"
No. I'm not foolish enough to think that. but now I can't kill that bitch.
You will want to act quickly. Her intentions for her, and he nods his head, and you see Hope in the sort of mist and embedded in mist, talking to a young boy who Hope is speaking with such urgency. You can't hear what he's saying, but it's you hear him saying, mouthing, "My father's gonna kill me," as she begins to ascertain a horse and a carriage. She kisses him on the face, and he can't speak again to stop her from taking this horse and carriage to Barovia. You assume that this is the young Benedict Langley that you've heard so much about. This is the
Thanks,
candlemaker's
bye.
son who got swindled out of a horse by your young, beautiful daughter, who certainly gave him his first kiss. As you turn back to the lich, who says that she has intentions for her.
I think he goes. Is it like the full lich? Am I like on him, or how is this like laid out? Just for like so I can have a visual.
So you and this lich are sort of together walking in this sky void, or standing in this sky void. He is a couple feet from you. You can grab him if you'd like.
I think I walk towards him and I do a attempt to kind of like grab him by like the inside of his robes, as I kind of shift above him and loom. If anyone touches her, I'll rip their throat. I'm not scared of you, of your vampire. I will consume all. And as I do this, my eyes kind of glow blue at him as a sinking coldness hits my heart. Just die. And I let go.
Before he fades into the night, you hear him say,
If this be the power of her father, she will make an excellent heir. If the other child is to fail.
and he fades away, disintegrating. And you hear, almost like the time that you first met her, you hear her voice. Stay awake, you bastard. Damn it. Open your mouth as you feel vomit rush quickly and fast out your mouth, and you awake in this library with your comrades as you have just puked on the ground.
Whoa there, Jaren. I
heavily.
did say it was strong.
How long was I out?
How long has it been in real life?
15 minutes. Very, very short amount of time.
Yeah, you just hear Thaddeus say, whoa there, Jaren. I did tell you it was strong.
No, I kind of stand up. I just give me a second. I'm going to kind of. I have to stay within the circle for the hut to stay up. Sorry, I had a bit of a nightmare. I kind of stand half transitioned. My arms getting longer and hairier. I take a breath. Sorry, just Is Elvina still down the stairs?
Not at the bottom of the steps, but she's definitely like outside the door, on the stoop somewhere. And like actually at the bottom of the steps is just a pile of like crumpled up papers of drawings. Because this whole time she's just been like trying to remember what her mother actually looks like and trying to recreate the image because she feels lost right now, honestly.
I can't remember. Was one of your like you're able to like telepathically speak to people, right? That was one of your things.
I believe so, yes. Oh my god, I have to go back to my thing. Hold on.
Sorry.
Well, like I have like 3 different like telepathic ways. Like I have like Mind Sliver, I have
I just thought like you
and
had
I also
a
have like
sorceress.
Ascending. Yeah, I am a sorceress, so yeah.
I thought you had
And
like
we
with
have a link
your...
already pre-established.
Yes. I think I'm going to try to telepathically reach out to you with that pre-established link. It feels like I'm knocking, like getting your attention. And you hear me kind of say, we need to get this done and find both of our daughters. We need to find yours.
And Elvina like had this inkling already, but like from the one meeting that she had, and they said something about like getting her child's blood. I think that's sort of what the conversation was. I can't remember the exact thing, but she had this inkling that her daughter was in this world. She just didn't know where.
You know that Bones had told you specifically that Yusara and Sarah were planning on creating a child born under the Dark Star, bathed in demon ichor for your place, in order for Strahd to attempt to essentially unseat herself, so that way the curse can pass to someone else.
As you remember that, I spoke to the lich, and you hear like a bit of like a catch in the throat. Strahd has plans for both of our daughters.
The lich would have said if the child fails to survive the ritual. Oh my god, the ritual. I am so sorry. I was so caught up in the moment.
The ritual.
I did not read. If they fail to survive the ritual, we have a backup.
If the child fails,
I think when you send that message to her, she'll come to the door and like sort of throw it open, and she has like tear tracks down her face, but she's just pissed.
You just see me like ragged with throw up in my beard.
Thaddeus just walks over and starts cleaning up the throw up.
Thanks. Just give me the rag. I don't need you to.
Totally don't make me a grown ass man.
Bones, can I have the piece of paper? Gertruda bends to the ground and starts scooping up vomit with paper.
Oh, God, guys, it was just a...
Oh, my music changed.
Fuck.
I also think that after Jaren confirms this, Elvina will also walk over to Bones and like grab the collar of his shirt and be like, if you want to actually meet your daughter, you're gonna do everything that you can to help me defeat this bastard so she can return home safely with us.
Okay, all right. I was planning on doing that anyways. Jesus, that's a tight grip you have. Are you okay, Elvina?
She'll sort of let it go and just like pat out his collar, and just a lot of things here. Just really.
Everybody looks like shit. We've got to get the fuck out of this temple. This place eats.
Not yet. It has to be destroyed before we leave.
We have to finish this fucking ritual first.
God, is it only... How long has it been? Like an hour?
It's been quite a few hours.
It's been like 5 hours.
No. It's been longer than that. It's been like 12 or 13.
It's been a very long time. Enough for Elvina to grasp some abyssal. Like, Thaddeus read half the law books in this bitch. Jaren was taking naps. It's been quite a long time. It's been about 13 hours. You guys are exhausted.
Yeah, I want you to know, like, you know how Aeolus was walking around the room, like inside the Lima's tiny hut? I don't think you can see inside of it, correct, David?
No, from the outside it is opaque. It's opaque like Fanta Black.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. You wouldn't have noticed as soon as you woke up, but if you walk back in there, you will just say Aeolus, like, with the biggest fucking bags under their eyes. Like, just like... When you think of what a person who is Hades' underling would look like, Aeolus is starting to get closer
Gaunt,
to that.
just really gaunt.
Yeah, gaunt and, like, not having slept. Basically just, like, you took the brunt of it for 5 hours. Aeolus picked it up and was like, I'm going to do this until I drop.
I think I'm gonna walk, like, trying to, like, reconcile everything that's happening here, and, like, watching you still going, and I look over, and I should have, like, led before I fell asleep, as he didn't mean to. You know, I'm debating if I should tell you you only had to do it for about 2 more hours.
And no, and then I'll say, I'll simply say,
I mean,
trust me, I
that's
wanted
a
this
lot of
thing to
water.
disintegrate if it fucking can.
You know what? I respect the effort. I need to sit down again. I'm gonna throw up.
But I will say, after hearing that, Aeolus will just walk around with their finger on the water one last time, like just not letting go all the way around, and then we'll finally sit down. Because they've been walking around this entire
Just an
time.
overflowing basin of holy water.
Oh, dude, this bitch is about to be dead.
Holy water.
Yeah, you guys all settle in. Everyone in this room looks like absolute garbage except for Gertruda, who doesn't need to sleep, so she looks fine.
She's also just confused, it feels like.
She is just sort of blinking around, looking at all of you, but she's too scared to attempt to leave on her own.
I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here.
Gertruda is like, okay, cleaning up the vomit on the floor. This is scary. she cleans up the puke, and you see that Bones has if you look at the table, you see that Bones has sliced his palm and has dripped some blood into a glass for her that she has clearly been sipping on.
It's very nice.
I don't want to eat me in my sleep, you know. That'd be fucking ass, you know. Wake up dead.
What
Then you would
what a kind
wake up.
lad.
Yeah, you know me. I'm a real saint. Nothing
I
like
think
you, I don't.
Elvina rolls her eyes and like, yeah, he has his moments, I guess.
I don't give my service for free like you, Thaddeus.
He points to you.
Oh, mine come with a price.
Oh yeah.
There's a dead guy back there somewhere if you want to go to ask.
Most of the time, it's just in the form of a favor, but
That guy was his life, and he still didn't even get the favor he wanted.
So, like, what kind of services wouldn't you do for someone? Like, if I paid you a free gold piece to wipe my ass, would you wipe my ass?
that you can handle on your own.
What if I paid you 50 gold pieces to wipe my ass? Would you consider it?
50 gold pieces.
Why
I'd
is
have
this
to
a
consider that.
conversation?
His shit really fucking stinks,
What if-
mate.
what if
I
I
don't know
paid
if you
you-
want to
no,
even
what
do
if I-
that.
No, listen. What if I paid you 100 gold pieces to wipe me from taint to staint? Would you do it?
Stay. You need to go to bed. We're done.
I'm gonna have to pass. I don't think there's enough gold in the
You haven't
world.
even what? You haven't even seen my ass yet. You haven't even seen my ass.
That's true. It could be
1,000
perfect.
1,000 gold pieces to wipe my ass.
Now that sounds like a good deal.
This guy would wipe ass for money. He says,
I can't. I can't.
Thaddeus is doing.
I can't believe.
Only 1,000 gold pieces. That's
Also-
fucking sick.
Also,
That's like
apparently,
Trump changed
Apparent-
to
apparently
elbows and
Thaddeus
forward
only
cheeks.
thinks there's
999 or less gold pieces in the world because he said not enough in the world, and then 1,000 was enough.
This guy
That's
is wearing
hilarious.
the shiniest shoes I've ever seen, and he was going to wipe my ass off for 1,000 gold pieces. Mate, you are the best. We should keep him. Long time.
We should keep him.
Apparently, he's got a helping department.
Hey, I got 1,000 gold pieces with your name on it, mate. Well, you see on the table bubbling. It has eaten away at this table, this globe, this blackened orb. The ichor has turned almost like a pearlescent white, kind of like, have you ever seen that metal in the TikTok videos that they put in the sand and the metal gets hard and it turns into something? Do you guys know what I mean?
Like when they pour molten metal into an anthill, and then the anthill.
Molten metal into an anthill, and then they take it out, and it looks like a metal thing. That's kind of
Yeah, I
what
know
this
what you mean.
ichor has turned into, is this sort of reflective, melted, like it looks like silver. But if you look at the underside, it's kind of this deep burgundy. It's interesting. Not anything you've ever seen before.
Stab it.
It shatters.
Oh shit.
Do you think that we've... I mean, not that I was a contributor, but do you think that it's done now?
Well, if I know anything about this cursed land, probably not.
Well, has it been 24 hours?
Last time I tranced was about 16 ago.
And this thing is in pieces, right? That's gotta be
Yeah.
at least really close.
I think we should be fine to go.
Okay.
You...
Well,
Eolus and Jaren, you both feel that this putrid energy hanging over this space is gone. It has disappeared. The only thing that is sort of even slightly triggering is the fact that Gertruda kind of smells like death, but that's to be expected.
Just always present.
Wait, hold on. Where's it at?
we're holding.
We're holding.
I'm holding, but not on.
So if I have chamomile, can I fashion it into a necklace so she can hang it around her neck so she no longer smells like this?
I would say to anyone but Jaren, she doesn't smell like death. Egolis, you can
Oh.
definitely sense an undead energy about her. Jaren has the most sensitive nose among you. So to Jaren, her smell is assaulting. But to you guys, she kind of just smells like girl. How girls smell. You know, girl be smelling like petal. Girl be smelling like vanilla. Girl be smelling like citrus, mahogany. That
Got
girl.
it.
I feel like
Is there a shower in
I
here
would get
somewhere?
it is that sickly, like the difference between what they smell and like how they smell sweet. Mine goes sickly sweet, as it gets to that more death side.
Yeah, girls smell like, to Jaren, smell like fucking, like you just fucking coated up.
Straight piss.
Yeah.
Not
kinda
piss.
Girls
Old
smell
meat.
like
Old
cooties. Cooties.
Girl kind of smell like coolant,
Ooh.
and syrup, like that very very sweet,
That's awful.
kind of like engine-y smell mixed with like an egg that has been freshly boiled.
I'm gonna vom.
Please,
Again.
not again, Jaren. I just spent
I'm
just spent some time cleaning up.
sorry.
It is time.
To
You guys
go.
can leave the Amber Temple if you'd like. The phylactery has been destroyed.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, is it
So at
when
this
you
point-
say it's
so
been
at this
destroyed?
point-
It's just been like.
At this point, has it been a day since
Yes.
things reach out to me?
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Yes,
we
yes,
have
yes.
to be at the Wizards of the Wine in 2 days, or else all the ravens are dead, That
And
said,
at that
it'll
point, we'll be a
probably-
long rest, right?
And at that
Yes, you guys have long rested. For legal reasons, you've long rested. Jaren and Aeolus, you do... I mean, not Jaren and Aeolus. Jaren, you're going to take a point of exhaustion. So sorry.
he's exhausted.
I die.
But my point is, we could. I mean, the Wizard of the Lines is about a day's travel from here. So theoretically, they'll be okay if we need to take an extra day to do something. If there's a place we can go to like get more reinforcements or something.
So Malachi would know that between where you are now, the Amber Temple, which is significantly north, south, sort of directly south from here, is Argynvostholt, and to the southeast, I believe, of Argynvostholt is the Wizard of the Wines. So
Got
you
it.
can make it to Argynvostholt relatively quickly.
Yeah, I've never been to Argynvostholt, so I don't know what the significance is. Is that the place that's doing that like whole beacon thing?
Mhm.
Is that like your base? We could stop there and pick some people up if people want to go fight some druids.
I think that would be a good stopping point. I'd like to.
Also could be a good place for I'm so sorry, I forgot her name.
Gertruda.
Yeah, could be a good place for Gertruda to hang
I
out.
don't think that she should do that. I think that light would kill her.
You're actually very confident that she cannot go to this temple.
She
cannot.
Because the
I thought it
light,
was just.
go there.
I thought it was just.
there's a
wait,
protective
that's silly.
barrier.
Why would it just be Strahd? That makes no sense.
Well, you see here.
Vistani is the only other people I could see.
In my times with the Vistani, I've acquired another card from the O'Shaughnessy Ironsmith, I believe it is. O'Shaughnessy Ironsmith. There's a small town. Is it a town? I don't know.
It is a town called.
Okay.
It is a town that you would have heard of called Krezek, and you do have the O'Shaughnessy blacksmithery card.
Yeah, biscuit. I was bringing.
I was
it
gonna
back.
say I'm gonna look over. It's like,
Go
do you
Biscuit.
think that's Biscuit?
I absolutely think that's the only O'Shaughnessy I've seen.
I fucking hate this place.
We could head on down to the Krezek and see if there's anything.
And Krezek is also in that area where we could go there in a day and then go.
Krezek is a little bit more east, and you know that they're not super fond of werewolves, so just bear that in mind. You could take Gertruda with you to the Were-Ravens. You have allies amongst the Vistani. You could give her direction there. You could
We also could go to Argynvostholt and pick up our allies that are already there.
Sorry, you weren't
I
here.
have
You
a
weren't here for
question
that.
for
We cannot
you.
go.
Yes, Jaren.
Now with
I
Gertruda,
don't,
Gertruda would
I
die.
don't remember
Yes.
the map
Oh,
layout
that's right.
entirely.
I
Is it possible
let me pull that up.
to lead the golem out of this place?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there's a
Baller.
big old. Yeah.
Well,
Baller.
The entrance is huge. Yeah. There's also
Yeah.
a secret, hidden, broken part of the castle on the side of the
We
wall.
should give that amulet to Godfrey.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have
Yeah,
to
that's
get back
hell yeah.
there.
That
You
would be.
will-
He needs help anyways.
You will have to get back there. You can
Listen,
only
I
split
we
the
could-
party.
was gonna suggest it, but that's just because Aeolus is. Listen, they want to see their daughter, and I know Jaren would too. But the problem is we're both the healers. and that would be
She also
problematic.
doesn't have to come to Argynvostholt.
Yeah.
You guys can lead her out of here and say, hey, sayonara, good luck, little vampire, on your way to Barovia. Adios, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen. If you would like, you can send her, Malachi, with directive to go to Argynvost. Or not to go to Argynvost, goodness
The wizard.
gracious. To go to the Wizard
Wine.
of the Wines to scope it out for you in advance.
Because she
It
don't
might
need to
be
sleep.
hard for her to
the were-ravens might be really distrustful unless she has something from you that can substantiate that she somehow knows you, or a letter written from you, and even then they might be really distrustful without one of you there.
Yeah.
I think
Didn't-
we should go
That's
to the
really fair.
Ravens just with her. Because we
did
can use her
Danica
strength.
give me something? I thought Danica
Yeah.
gave me like
Ascending stone, I thought.
No, it was
Hold on.
that was like a raven token or something like that.
I thought
my-
it was a feather.
Or a feather,
Maybe?
yeah.
Yeah. She did give you a feather. So that way the ravens would treat you as their friend. And that they would know that you are her ally.
Give her the feather.
She could
I
get the
think-
feather.
I think I am like holding the feather and like thinking about it. I don't get like any like real. I don't get any bad vibes from Gertruda, right?
Okay. Jaren, she's a vampire. She is
Yeah.
definitely a vampire. You've seen her drink blood. Did she fight you in combat? No. Did she seem very afraid? Yes. Is she scared of you? Certainly. But I would say that whatever feelings Jaren has about vampires, he still probably is carrying in his interactions with her. But that is entirely a character choice that you can have with her.
But personally, I wouldn't really trust her on her own, by herself,
I know.
unless we introduce her ourselves to people to begin with.
I could.
Also, Gertruda, sorry talking about you like you're not here. I know you're listening to all of this.
My only concern is I cannot be out in the sun. I'm not as old or
Resilient?
strong as them.
Well, you see
If I
here, I could take my caravan, and Gertruda and I could just go scope out this wizard and wines.
Yes,
Yeah.
we could
So-
head forward.
So, question: Why are we? So, why wouldn't we just all go to the Wizard of the Wines?
Because, I mean, if you want to pick people up from Argidvoss first,
I mean, people can wait outside the area.
You also, Elvina can cast sending
True.
and message and mind. Like Elvina could message any one of these people that she knows and say, "Hey, we need you guys to meet us here." Now, somebody's got to stay with the kids, okay? Somebody's gonna have to stay behind. But if you wanted Godfried to join you, if you wanted who else got sent back? Members of the Vistani can stay behind with the children. They are headed to Argynvost Holt.
Hope is there, right?
Hope
I
is
still,
there.
I think Hope should. Stay
Didn't we
back.
also send
She
the Dark
probably
Elves?
won't want to, but she will want to
Hope is
protect.
there.
That's fair.
The
That's
Dark
fair.
Elves are there. The Vistani are there. Godfried is there. Who
We're
else?
packing this place.
Hey,
There,
it's big.
there
It can
is
handle
a
it.
bunch of people who you guys have sent back for repairs. Okay,
For
so
repairs.
you can literally message any of them and be like, "Hey, we need this person, and this person to come with us."
We also
Listen-
know Gunter.
That might be a hard pull.
That
I
would
mean,
definitely be a hard
I
in-
do
in
currently
theory,
have the
is he
pipes of
not
bonding.
still at Argynvost Holt? That's where we saw him, wasn't it?
No,
He
because he
stopped-
ended
he
up
flew
going
away.
to where.
He
No.
flew back to his many wives.
He said he was going back to Valaki.
That's right.
No,
Gunter-
not the
Gunter
Valaki.
at
What?
Valaki, you do have, if you wanted to call upon, I will tell you, meta. If you wanted to call upon, oh my fucking god.
Bone Daddy.
Bone Daddy.
If you wanted to
Bone
call-
Daddy.
If you wanted to call upon Arcana, and
Arcan.
Call upon the Arcanum.
if
And
you wanted to
Calagon,
call
the
upon-
last one.
And Calagon, the last one. You can. I will say, Bone Daddy has one good fight left in him. One good
Yeah.
fight. And I would strongly recommend you save him for the big one. But if you wanted to call upon him earlier, that's totally fine.
I
No.
didn't.
He's a pretty big buff, but in my head he is for the fight at Ravenloft, the final fight.
I think
Okay.
we call.
Well, there's also
upon-
Zulu Kia, who we've met.
She
There's also-
fucked off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
He
granted,
doesn't
fucked
like
off,
us.
but like Elvina knows her well enough to be able to get her like a sending message. Like she knows who she looks like and what.
Zulukia, I would like to remind everyone, did say that you weren't her allies many times. Did say
This is true.
that she would leave you for
Exactly.
dead many times, and she did do just that because you guys were so loud inside this castle.
Yeah, but like Elvina's
Now
like
look at
the
us.
Elvina's the dark elves like queen now or something, right?
I
Also,
mean,
Casimir's
Casimir's not
dead.
going to return, so and they don't know what happened to him. So she went back and
Casimir?
said, like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that's
fucking
crazy.
this
I
lich
killed the guy
fucking
that leads
murdered-"
you.
No, she would lie. First
Oh
off.
yeah. Oh my
She would
gosh,
say
he
that the
didn't.
lich,
He didn't make it.
got
He
him,
fought
yeah.
valiantly against the lich, but he
and
but it
now
got
here
him.
I am. I'm sorry.
So
you
we're
know,
going
like-
back
I-
to the Vistani camp that has the other dark elves.
No, we sent them to
We sent
Argonauts.
those back to Argonauts.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Argonvost. And the Vistani were packing up before you left to head there. Before you left to head there as well.
I also
everyone's an Argonvost. I feel like
would
we
like
should
to
just go back
say
there.
that we do not have to technically lie because we don't know if if the other dark elves were privy
Well,
to
that's the
Casimir's
thing.
plans.
Yeah.
We can be honest and deal with the
Like
repercussions.
Casimir
and be like,
wanted
he
to work
was-
with the Lich and Strahd and to bring back his sister.
And it wasn't
I
even
had to do what
necessarily,
I
I
had
think,
to do.
the vampire. It was just one of the things here. He wanted to
Mm.
make a similar deal to bring her
As
back
the
and,
Lich and bring her back. Yeah.
put
Also,
all of
like-
you in danger.
The big reason why we're not going is because of Gertruda, but can't Gertruda just kind of stay in the caravan outside
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
radius?
saying earlier.
That's
feel
what
like-
I'm thinking too. She can also stay inside the caravan outside the radius. She
Well,
Like,
just
how
has to
far
go
away is
to
the radius
Argonvost.
from the palace proper?
Just like
Like,
3 or
is it
4
like-
feet. No.
It's
We say,
about
like,
500 feet.
Okay.
It's a pretty big
Ooh.
radius.
Yeah,
I
it's a pretty
mean-
big radius, but should be
The
alright.
moon.
The power of the gods, they've returned to Barovia. It's 500 feet around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So-
mean,
I
that's
still
less than
think
a
that's-
less than a football field, you know.
I still think
Gertruda
that's
seems to
okay.
have made buddies with Bones enough to where like we could leave him with her too, outside of the radius.
Yeah, just keep on feeding her your blood, Bones.
I also lied. That's like 1.5 football fields.
In any sense, it is a large area around Argonvost. You can also, you guys know this, a literal giant dragon landed in the plains there. You can see the tree's edge. You know where the you know exactly where it ends because you've seen Strahd in the trees from there. It's not like she would be out of sight. You know what I mean? You could still see her and the caravan. They're only 500 feet away. If something were to pop off, you would be able to get there relatively. It would be a lot of turns, but you would be able to get there. You would be able to see them.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking it's probably aight.
Yeah, Gertruda and I can stay in the caravan. I don't even know the people at this Argonvost anyway, so.
I mean, neither do I, but I want to see it.
It's a pretty cool castle.
I mean, you guys have been gone for a couple of days. Who knows? It might look a little different.
I live
Okay,
in a
so
big castle.
It's
I'm gonna be-
burned down.
No, I'm gonna be completely honest. Metagaming, I'm concerned that if we go anywhere except for the Wizard of the Wines, immediately Haley will roll a D100 or D20 again, and more people will die.
So
Good.
I have
And that,
So-
you have 3 days.
2 days now.
Meta, you have 2. Excuse me, 2
I
days. Meta, you have 2 days before I will kill any more beloved NPCs off screen. Okay, you've
Okay.
got 2 days. I will
Stay
give
there.
you that time frame.
I want you to know, Haley, that's the fear that you've put into me.
I know that we've had many sessions of combat. I want you guys to have the opportunity to role play with the NPCs that you love very much before I steal them, shatter them, and kill them in front of you. So I want to give you guys that opportunity. We might call it here though, because I do have work tomorrow, and I have to be in office.
So we might call it a little short. Not next session, because obviously next session is David's game, but the session after that, if you guys have any conversations that you want to pre-plan with an NPC, if you can just shoot me the general synopsis of what you're thinking for that conversation, because if there's not a lot of roleplay that you guys want to do, then we can fast forward the track to the Wizard of the Wines. But if you want to sit in that roleplay for a while, I would love for you guys to get the opportunity to talk to more NPCs.
Yeah.
And I want also, Thaddeus, I want you to come up with something with me on the side. So I'll have to talk to you, Alan.
Book it.
Okay. Good night, boys.
We are brooding. We are broody. We brood.